Hello, everybody. I'm Rob.
I'm Justin.
And welcome to another edition of the Horological Happy Hour.
Thanks for joining us as always, guys. We went ahead and put together another jam-packed show for you. We've had a couple really good ones in a row, so thank you guys for tuning in and for joining us and participating as always. Rob and I dug through our new arrivals from the past week or so, and we tried to pick out some pretty ridiculous pieces. There's a pretty wide selection of different styles and things on this table. And as always, if you haven't already done so, after the show, go to our website, EuropeanWatch.com, check out our new arrivals, check out what we have in stock, because as always, we have some pretty incredible pieces hanging out ready for you. So
we do. Yeah, we've got 5 really stunning pieces here. We are going to talk about the currently very controversial Swatch and AP collaboration.
the Royal Pop.
And then we have something really fun for the end of the show that I think you're going to want to stay tuned for.
Are you burying the lead? Are you going to, come on.
We have decided to both pick the worst watch from each other's favorite brands and then force the other person to defend it. So I have picked a miserable Cartier.
I picked an absolutely ridiculous Panerai that no one should ever own, buy, wear, anything. And we're going to make the other defend that watch live on camera.
Defend the watch. And we have some honorable mentions as well because, there were too many.
I have a page of extra Panerais that didn't fit.
There were too many to limit it to just one, but we make do with what we have.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and make it a happy hour, a true happy hour. We're going to switch it up this week and go back to the Aubin.
Yes.
So, single malt, little bay, small cask. Robert, pass your glass over here.
Thank you, sir. And you know what would make it even happier is if all of you who are watching right now decided to click onto our YouTube page and liked this video and hit that subscribe button. We recently hit 10,000 subscribs.
We're coming up on 11,000 now, which is
really?
cool. Yeah, we're cranking.
Wow, that's awesome. We are so happy. We're so happy to be connecting with all of you every 2 weeks like this. So please do keep that going so that the algorithm is happy and we can keep reaching you through the show.
We do a lot of good stuff. I mean, obviously, this is what Rob and I get excited for, but there's a lot of good stuff that happens throughout the week as well that gets posted there up on our channel. So check it out. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers to all of you.
Cheers to you, Rob.
Cheers to you.
And we will kick it off. All right. So, like I said, we went ahead and picked 5 really interesting new arrivals. 2 Pateks because, of course, the first one is a really, really interesting Ellipse.
And I think this is great, especially with the green Ellipse that they just introduced at Watches and Wonders in both the big size and bringing back the old school
classic size. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is that golden Ellipse, this is that larger size, but this is a really special one. This is from Patek's Rare Handcrafts series. So this is the reference 5738/51G. So white gold, golden Ellipse, but obviously you'll see that the dial is all kinds of special.
And these are the volutes and arabesques,
correct.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that Patek does this is, they take a standard gold Ellipse dial and then they actually engrave it, and it's interesting. I thought that the process was a little bit different than I expected, but they basically remove material and then they apply the black Grand Few enamel and bake it and everything. And then once the enameling piece is done, then they go back and they actually further engrave the white gold reliefs, essentially, that are left poking through.
I love it. I think it is so cool looking. It wouldn't be your daily watch.
No,
right?
definitely
You
not.
wouldn't buy this as like, I'm going to wear this every day and that's going to be my daily beater kind of thing. But like as an occasion watch, as a tuxedo watch.
Totally. You can't beat it.
As something fancy, like I love it.
Yeah.
It's illegible.
Oh my God. You're not, like Rob said, you're not buying this watch to tell the time.
No.
You're buying it because it looks cool.
This is art.
Yeah.
Like this is art. It is so cool. It's cool because it's Rococo, but it's also like not so over the top that it's ridiculous.
It's also like Johnny Depp.
It's
Chrome hearts, like it's a little bit Ed Hardy, like I don't know, which is not my vibe at all.
But then you also get serious watchmaking under the hood because you're getting a 240,
right?
Which is arguably the greatest movement Patek has ever made.
No arguments there.
So micro rotor caliber, which is why when I have this on my wrist, you can see how thin this is. And you know, it's funny. You and I are both very excited about the mid-size ellipses coming back. But even in this large size, it fits really flat on the wrist, super elegant. The no lugs thing is perfect, and the size works.
So it's only 6.5 millimeters thick, which is pretty impressive. And like Rob said, that's all thanks to that 240 micro rotor in there. And actually, this is slightly thicker than a quote unquote standard ellipse.
Yeah.
And I tried to do my research, Rob, but I didn't quite figure out why. But I'm guessing it has to do with the dial.
It's got to be the dial, and the fact that you need a little bit more clearance with the hands, because when you look close at it, there's depth.
There's tons.
And you would need a little clearance to get over it, because like hands dragging on that dial would be
a travesty. And like the thing that I really love about this piece in particular, and Patek's Rare Handcrafts like division, their whole series, it's really interesting because back, I think it started in like the 80s or 90s, and it was, before it was like a formal line of watches, it was just kind of this thing that they did in-house, and they would, do these special things, and they would offer them to special, VIPs and whatnot. But the whole idea is that Patek is committed to trying to preserve these techniques and these processes that have been a part of the watchmaking industry and world for hundreds and hundreds of years, but just due to the changing modern world and how everything is becoming mechanized and whatever, it's these art these art forms that are practiced by these incredible artisans were dying out or are still dying out. So Patek is really committed to maintaining them, trying to foster them.
Ultimately, isn't that the reason that we all really love this? I think there's definitely an undercurrent, like in the watch world, of like as things become more automated, as things become more digital, as things become, it's kind of like the LP resurgence, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
it's the exact same thing.
People are looking for those analog experiences, and this is it. And this is cool because this is it in spades, because you have a mechanical watch, but then you also have this beautiful handmade piece of art on the dial.
That, what's cool that I didn't notice too, and I didn't know until I was researching this, is that the crown, that's an onyx cabochon in there. Ooh. Which is like just I love that, just like a little extra something that Patek drops in there.
I love the buckle, like the fact that you get this ellipse-shaped and proportioned buckle. The strap tail is even different there because you get the rounded strap tail. Like it is true continuity of design. Through and through.
Okay, before we move on, hold on, because people are giving me crap for never reading the comments. I read all the comments. I just choose what I respond to. First up,
I've been comment censored over here.
Robert has been comment censored because he has the attention span of a goldfish, and he sees a comment, and we're off. We're totally off the rails. You're right, Ron Rock. Kevin Hart was wearing not this exact watch.
Oh, really?
But he was wearing one of these at his roast that was last week or something. Cool. I'm wearing a datograph today. I'm in the process of adding it to my collection. So this is pretty special. I'm pretty excited about it. So I've wanted one forever. I'll come back to the comments just to prove you all wrong who say I don't read the comments. All right, next up. This is one that I seem to remember a certain Robert Q. Russell being quite upset about. Very, very off.
I'm not upset about it.
He didn't like it. He was very anti.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. But I'm not upset about it. It's not like ruining my day.
So the Rolex 1908. This is the Settimo. So Rolex introduced the 1908 collection in 2023 as a replacement to the Cellini line, obviously, and then. I think they came out with what? There was a yellow gold, there was a platinum, a couple different dial configurations. I think there were 6 total variants back in 2023.
Yeah, white gold too, I think.
White gold too, you're right. And then in 2025, so not this year, but last year at Watches and Wonders, they debuted this version, which is the yellow gold black dial, and this is also available with a white dial, but the yellow gold one, and it's on this incredible yellow gold bracelet that was made specifically for the 1908. It's called the nickname is the Settimo because it's a seven link bracelet. You get these, those 2 large outer links kind of, and then those 5 individual smaller links in the center there. And like the overall effect is, it reminds me almost of like a vintage beads of rice, or like
this is straight out of the 50s. This actually, for me,
Patek jewelry.
This reminds
bracelets.
me of the old school, like the gangster watches where it's a manually wound, calatrava of some sort, and then it has like either this kind of beads of rice thing or a mesh thing, but it's super thin and it's not links. It has to be cut to fit and stuff. I don't know what the thing on those is, like the proper terminology, but kind of like the AP Cobras and stuff like that.
100%.
Like it's that.
Yes.
In modern form. And so here's what I'll say. The execution is 10 out of 10.
It is stunning.
Which I wouldn't expect anything less from Rolex. This bracelet, the subtlety of this bracelet on the wrist, the flex of it, it feels like those old 50s bracelets where it's like a woven gold bracelet.
But I totally agree with you. It feels and has the appearance of it, but I think it's somehow better as well because it feels slightly more substantial. But
without a doubt.
But it moves just as nicely.
And it has a better clasp, and you can adjust it.
You get a hidden crown clasp, and then, like Rob said, you can easily adjust this, classic Rolex style with a screwdriver.
And the links are tiny, so like lack of micro adjust doesn't bother me because I think with how small these links are, it's basically a half link every time you take one out.
Right.
So there's plenty of adjustment there. I love the straight end links.
I'm sensing a butt here. Well, they're not interesting. They're not quite straight. They're slightly curved, and this is completely bespoke to the 1908 case.
Right.
This bracelet, which is actually kind of pisses me off.
There's some gappage here,
You can't take this bracelet and put this on anything else in the Rolex lineup because this would be sick on like Daytona or something else.
Why can't you? Cancel.
So beyond the shape, the way that it connects to the case in the lugs is also different. But anyway, sorry. There's a butt coming. There's a butt coming.
This is like the motion of the ocean when I like move my finger here. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. Like again, I can't fault them. I think the display back looks great. I think the movement is great. I think the dial is great. The hands are great. Everything is great. But
I'm waiting.
But it's not what people like. This is not Rolex. I don't understand this watch. Like, if you want a Rolex on a bracelet, they are the king of the bracelet. They invented the bracelet as far as all things are concerned. The Oyster bracelet is the bracelet, right? Watch bracelets wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Rolex. This is like, if this said Patek on the dial, it would be 2x over retail all day long. If it said Longa on the dial and there was this bracelet, it'd be 2x over retail. I don't think Rolex on the dial carries this watch.
What? I don't understand. So, but your complaint and people's complaint with Cellini was that it was too different from the rest of Rolex's lineup where it was, it was a dress watch that was trying to do something that Rolex wasn't supposed to do or whatever. And I think it's completely ridiculous to try and say that, the brand is known for the Submariner. They shouldn't do anything else. Like, I am absolutely an advocate and have long been an advocate for brands doing what they do best. Like, do it and stick to it. So here, your own words, buddy.
Yeah.
I want to use your own words against you.
Please do.
Rolex
I stand by
Rolex is the bracelet king who created the perfect Oyster bracelet.
They did.
You were just talking about how incredible this bracelet is, how beautifully it wears, how incredible it is on the wrist, how easy it is to size, how blah, 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 blah. But for some reason, the bracelet king who made this bracelet, you don't like it. I don't understand.
Because it doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make sense about it?
It doesn't make sense to me. People, maybe this is the beginning of a shift, and people will think about Rolex in terms of a watch like this, where it's like, ooh, basically a really nice like Calatrava style watch with a display back, with this beautiful, dressy, jewelry-esque bracelet. And I say that in the best possible way.
Agreed,
I'm not saying jewelry-esque because it's not watch level.
Sure.
Like it feels like a really fine piece of metalwork jewelry.
Because it is,
Like, it is really well done. I take nothing away from the substance of what that is. My problem is that in the Rolex lineup, this watch makes no sense.
See, I really think I
sense.
think that this is closer in spirit to the rest of the Rolex lineup than any previous Cellini was, dating back all the way to the 60s and the Midas and everything. Like this makes
Yeah, the Midas is a real like left field
but
kind
even
of thing.
I mean, I love the Cellini Moon, like the rose gold
Right.
the
Well,
old
that's
Cellini
when
Moon.
that generation, last generation Cellini, because this is not a Cellini anymore. That last generation Cellini was the first time people cared about that watch, even though the Cellini Prince is a really good watch.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Nobody wants that from Rolex. And so there's still a great deal.
But
even though you get incredible watchmaking in those Cellini Princes, the gondola-shaped tanky thing.
Terrible watch.
It is not. It's a
Prince.
great watch. But nobody wants that watch with Rolex on the dial. And I think the branding, yes.
Rob is cooking, ... Crack.
I am not.
You are. This makes so much more sense in the grand scheme of Rolex and their lineup and what they do. And honestly, again, using your own words against you, you're saying that nobody wanted the Cellini and nobody wanted a dress watch from Rolex. So Rolex, this is not what happened, but in this scenario, Rolex listened to their critics and they made something that is more in line with the rest of the pieces that they make in the rest of their catalog.
This is not in line with anything they make, though.
Why? What do you mean?
Where does this come from?
Where does it come from? It's called the 1908. It was the year that Hans Wilsdorf registered the Rolex
I guess
trademark.
You can kind of say that it's like a modern
bubble back
of sorts, because it has
it is 100%. It's got that
the
same
two
bezel.
keyed kind of things, like as though you were screwing it together like a bubble back, but it ain't a bubble back. At the end of the day, this is not a bubble back. And bubble backs, I don't think they ever came on this bracelet. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God, guys. Rob,
I'm conflicted.
I don't know. I swear to God, that's the first glass of scotch that Rob has drank today. So
it is. But a lot of coffee. Whether you're in the chat live or whether you're leaving a comment after the fact, are you lusting after this watch? Are you like, man, that's the Rolex I've been waiting for them to make from the, 1908 until now, damn near 100 years, and they finally made the watch I've been waiting for. Forget gold Daytonas and other things and such, and day dates, I want that. Like, who out there is like, that's it, Rolex finally did it? I want to know, because to me, it's the strangest Rolex. Okay. It's so weird, because like, 1908 on a strap, I get, because it's like, okay, you're a Rolex guy, you want a dress watch, you're going to stick with Rolex because you're super brand loyal, no problem, I respect that. You get your Cellini. But then it's like, okay, I want a gold bracelet dress watch. It's like, why don't you just wear a Day-Date or a Daytona or like any of the other
Dude, you can't compare that to a Daytona.
No, you can't, because the Daytona's better.
Oh my God.
And I'm not a Daytona guy. I'm a dress watch guy.
All right, let's move on, because
we should.
I can't even.
We're too long
No,
already.
it's fine. Well, whatever. But
it's your fault. You put that on there.
I did on purpose, because I genuinely like that watch. It's available now for $52,500 if you're interested.
I like the watch, and I think it is really well made. I think it is a weird.
We've heard the butt. We've heard the butt. We're moving on. We're moving on. Next up, probably the most important watch, definitely on this table, and maybe that we have in our database right now. This is an absolutely unbelievable Patek 3970, yellow gold with a black dial. It's got what's kind of colloquially known as a Clapton dial. So you get a Breguet 12 and then studs, gold studs for hour markers, and a tachometer.
Right, and so the standard 3970 would have no scale, and it would have stick markers all the way around, so that the studs in the Breguet 12 wouldn't be there, and obviously the scale wouldn't be there. It would be markers to the very edge of the dial. I know you're going to tell us some really cool history on this one, because Justin was sharing a little bit of this with me before we got started, but the 3970, in my opinion, is one of the greatest Pateks they've ever made.
Agreed. Full stop.
Right along with the 3940, they are probably my two favorite references of all time.
In any configuration whatsoever, whether doesn't matter if it's first, second, third, fourth series, early, late, doesn't matter. Don't even worry about it. I wouldn't.
But the proportion of the case is perfect.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, oh, it's too kind of cheeseburgery because it stands up too tall in the wrist.
Because the dimensions, because the actual diameter is quite small, it wears incredibly well.
I love the proportions. I love the fact that the height gives it presence. It doesn't feel small. Like if you want that super slick thing, then you get a 3940.
Right.
But if you want a little bit more presence and like this watch, the condition of this thing is incredible.
So someone
The
actually
lugs,
just asked, is it unpolished? Yes, 100% unpolished. It's essentially unworn, to be totally honest. This is a really, so this configuration is special in and of itself. So it's believed that roughly 5 pieces were made in this configuration: the yellow gold with the black dial, with all those characteristics that we just described, the TAC, the Breguet 12. Interestingly, so the 3970 went out of production in 2004. It was what, 80? I can't remember, but it went out of production in 2004.
It's right around the same time as 3940. It's like 85.
I thought it was like 87 to 04. Yeah. So goes out of production in 04, and this has papers dated 2009, which weird. But when you look into it, what actually happened was Patek they kept on making special order pieces for VIP clients through roughly 2009 to 2010. So 5-6 years after production stopped, they had leftover componentry, and they would make these incredible, super special, super unique variants for VIP clients.
That to me, not to cut you off,
no, it's fine.
But that to me is like the ultimate luxury.
100%.
Like if you're at the level where you can be like, hey, that watch you stopped making 5 years ago,
yeah.
I want one.
Yes.
And they say yes.
Right.
That's like you're the king at that point.
And almost all of those special order pieces were in a similar configuration where they were in a dial and metal combination that wasn't regular production.
Yeah.
Almost all of them had the Clapton dial with the tack scale and everything. So it was generally this in different metals, different dial colors, what
Basically
have you.
like the Saatchi Gallery thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this particular one, to make it even more special, this was made for Claude Sphere, who is if you've been in the watch world, for a while, you'll know who he is, you'll know the name. He's a very well-known Lebanese collector. He was a gemologist and a jeweler. He was the underbidder at the famed Henry Graves pocket watch auction.
The super complication.
Back in 2014, when he was outbid by Aurel, now Aurel Box and Russo Phillips, for $24 million and change. He's been quoted as saying it's cheaper for him to buy watches than it is to see a shrink, which I think is hilarious. He was an early Journe supporter. He was Journe's partner on their Beirut boutique.
Oh, wow.
He owns.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Makes total sense.
You say that. Yeah,
he has an insane collection. Very, very heavy Patek collector. He has a very large early Rolex collection, the splits, all kinds of interesting stuff.
Wow.
He owns Reza Pahlavi's Submariner, who was the last Shah of Iran. He owns all the watches that were used in shooting of all the Bond films. All the watches that were worn by Bond in the movies, he owns them.
Like all of them?
Like all of them. He put on an exhibition something like 10 years ago in London with all the watches, or in 2017, something like that. So just super, super interesting guy. He's known to be like an absolute sweetheart, and just obviously insane killer taste.
And this was his watch.
This was his watch. His name were on the papers.
That makes this even cooler. I think so. We talked about this last week, how Patek from this era is the momentum behind it is massive right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's there because Patek is now moving in a very modern direction, and they're targeting a very different kind of clientele. And to have a watch like this that was owned by somebody like that, and that was basically commissioned and made in a fantastically rare configuration that is also stunningly beautiful.
I'll let you keep going, but this is also the only one in this configuration that is known to the market.
Yeah.
None others have publicly surfaced, which is quite interesting.
This is that kind of watch. This is the kind of watch for somebody who is a true collector.
Yeah.
Right? This goes beyond I'm going to wear this watch. This is you own this as a steward for whoever owns it next. I hate to use their tagline, but that's really what this is about. That is the
kind of watch that Patek was talking about, or their PR department was talking about when they said you never truly own a Patek
This is
Philippe.
if you're the kind of guy who's looking for a subscription Journe.
Correct.
Or you're looking for, those kinds of watches. You're looking for a closed caseback Longa or a original Pour La Marie from '94. If you're looking for that stuff, this is the watch, man. This is the stuff that will begin to rival the art auctions.
Oh, yeah.
As this hobby and this community continues to build steam and continues to build, precedence in the world, like this is the kind of thing where like this will rival some of these big art auctions and big diamond auctions.
And especially, like you're saying, pieces that are, this has every single component that makes it a killer, a killer auction watch, a killer a real, like a trophy. We have provenance, you have, the level of rarity and how special it is, the condition. This one's listed, it's live on our site, 1.35 million. So if you want to be the boss, you're gonna have to pay up. But it really, like Rob said, this is a market that is 100%, on the upswing for the foreseeable future, I would say.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's just getting started.
Yeah,
it is just getting started. So now for the best watch on the table.
Oh my God.
This watch arrived last week.
It did.
And about half the staff, as they walked by the table where we had just unboxed it, said, "Is that real?"
Yeah, right. Because
everybody thought,
who in their right mind,
that this was like an aftermarket bezel.
Who in their right mind puts a sapphire bezel onto an offshore chrono? Like, what the hell? Yes. This is factory, though. This is factory. So this is the reference 25862SC. And it's essentially, if you're familiar with the offshore chrono known as the Beast, this is essentially that watch in steel, but it has a white gold bezel that is set with 32 baguette cut sapphires.
I love this.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
It's absurd.
It's so dumb.
This is so ridiculous. It is, and I mean, granted, compared to some APs, it's not that big. Whoops. You can see, on my wrist
Dude,
that
it's
like
huge.
but it doesn't overwhelm. It doesn't look like out of place. I should have actually.
Not if you have Hulk hands like you, I guess. Like it is.
But it doesn't look out of place. I mean, even with this suit, come on.
Get out of here.
Come on.
Get out of
I'd wear
here.
that. If anybody wants to buy this for me, I will daily this all the time. No problem.
I love it.
I'll send you photo proof.
I think it's interesting.
I'll wear it all the time.
It's super rare. The model was released in '98, and then it was made in like very small quantities through like the mid to like 2013, 14, 15, something like that. It's super rare. You never see them. I didn't even know it existed. Like Rob said, no one knew it existed, before it came in, and we were like, what the hell is going on here? It's not for me, but I love I do love whenever a brand is just like, we're just gonna do something really dumb.
This reminds me of when it was like the very first Talking Watches with John Mayer, and he had like a gold offshore on a rubber strap or something, and he was like, I love wearing this watch because there's something about that like juxtaposition of a very expensive gold watch on like what basically is a $5 piece of rubber, or like the guys who put super cool watches on NATOs.
Yeah.
I have a client who wears his Platinum 5004 on a tan NATO, and it's like this is also a $5 strap.
He is a boss.
And you put it on this
makes total as he hella skis, yeah.
And I love it. I absolutely love that kind of thing. And this is that in spades.
It is.
It's the classic Royal Oak offshore that shocked and stunned the market when it was released.
Sure.
And then to take that, what was designed to be the uber sport crazy watch, and let's put a sapphire white gold bezel on it.
I would love to know,
Sold.
like, if AP had the records or their their ADs at the time had the records. Like, I want to know who actually walked in and was like, I gotta have that watch. Like
me. I just don't have the bank account to back it up, but me.
Rob would walk in and say he wants it, and they'd say, sir, please leave.
This is why I'm not rich, because if I was rich, I'd blow it all on dumb stuff like that.
We would be fun rich people. Come on.
Speaking of incredible dumb stuff, I want to get to this last one, because we have
I agree. We have
such cool stuff to talk
Yeah,
about, and I want to talk about all of these. I don't want to skip this, because we don't feature a lot of GP on this show. I think that Three Bridges Tourbillon that we had
recently,
a couple weeks ago was the
great.
first GP we ever brought on this show.
I think you're right.
GP is an interesting brand. They have a ton of history. They have a ton of cred in the watch world. But they make a lot of stuff that doesn't speak to all of that.
Right.
This is not one of those watches. This is incredible.
This is I mean, I think we've said it before about other watches, but this is absolutely an engineering exercise that GP undertook to just like show to the world, show to the watch world what we are capable of when we actually want to apply ourselves.
Exactly. And Ulysse Nardin does the same thing,
Yes.
where they make these high-end watches that are so amazing, but then some of the stuff they make for mass market like falls flat.
Correct.
This is a tri-axial tourbillon, and you have, this puts the Rolex Cyclops to shame. They can just pack their stuff and go home.
What do you call a OOO? Yeah, well, you get that, and you also get a window.
You get a window here, and then you also do have the case back, which, like some tourbillons, everything's on the dial side, and the case back's very flat. This is actually really cool.
You get a lot.
This is like Grubel Forzi, but for less.
Well,
right?
not much less, but
for less.
So triaxial tourbillon. So you get one tourbillon cage that rotates once per minute, one that rotates once every 30 seconds, and one that rotates every 2 minutes. So, and it's one of those watches that, like, even when we were sitting down here getting ready for the show, Rob was looking at it and he's like, "Where the hell is the third axis?" And then you sit there and you watch it for long enough, and all of a sudden you start to see, how it is rotating in there, how it's moving, what it's doing, and it's wild.
I lost about 5 minutes. I lost about 5 minutes of my life just standing there staring at it because I literally got hypnotized by this watch.
Yeah.
Like literally got hypnotized by this watch.
Obviously, it's a limited edition. GP made 5. Supposedly, we don't even know if they made all 5, but it was a limited run of 5 pieces. This is number 1, which is very cool. It's a 48 millimeter white gold case that is 18.1 millimeters thick. It's quite beefy.
But it has to be.
It has to be.
Where are you going to put this incredible 3D tourbillon?
Right.
It's just like a Jaeger gyro or something like that. Like if you want a Grubel, it's the same thing. Or if you want, an MB&F, it's the same thing. Like if you want this level of watchmaking, you have to tolerate the size. I will say they did a really good job of downturning the lugs and the integration of the strap. And like, here it is. I sized the strap while you were watching the B-roll. And it's heavy, and it's big. It's not going to go under the cuff, but I could wear this. Go to the front shot. I could wear this. Like,
it doesn't look crazy on yours. It would look completely ridiculous, I think, on mine. But if you have like a normal size wrist, that's all right. I have a doll's wrist. If you have a normal size wrist, it really is not bad. It's cool. Like again,
it's incredibly cool. It is.
I love kind of like everything on this table. Maybe 1908.
I have to admit, this wears a little bit better. This wears a little bit better.
But again, when brands take big swings and they do something just to show off, just to show what they're capable of, I think it's really, really special, and it's like important.
The wind on this is like
it's heavy,
so heavy, and it's because this has a 60-hour power reserve with powering that massive tourbillon. So the movement itself is 36 millimeters. The movement is the size of a Datejust or an Explorer. And that tourbillon cage is like 14 mil across or something like that. Like it's, this watch, it doesn't pull any punches. No. It's so cool.
Rob, do you want to guess what the original MSRP was?
Oh, man. Come on. This is 300 grand.
Oh, please. Come on. Child's play, Robert.
Well, this was a while ago. I'm thinking,
wasn't that
2015, right? I'm thinking 10 years ago money.
$437,000. So, coming soon to our site, and something tells me...
less.
Yeah, thanks for taking my joke. Something tells me to list for a little bit less than that.
For less.
So there you go. There are our new arrivals. As always, we went super long, but I think that was worth it.
Though. I mean, this was cool stuff today. I
agree.
Like handcraft Patek, special commission Patek with cool provenance.
Watch that you're wrong about.
Rolex. And then like the coolest AP I've ever seen, and GP.
The coolest GP I've ever seen.
Yeah, a real GP.
Wild stuff.
A real GP.
So again, if you guys haven't checked it out, go to our website after the show, look through our new arrivals, download our app, check out all of the new stuff that gets hit there.
The GP and the AP should be up soon.
They'll be coming soon.
They're up yet.
Yep.
The other ones are up.
Patek, the Ellipse is also not up, but that's coming soon. But anyways, awesome stuff.
Real previews.
Tons of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
All right, main event. We have to talk about the AP Swatch collaboration, which came out of nowhere and everybody thought was fake and is actually real.
I was blown away because I really did not think, like, why would AP and Swatch Group come together. Like Blancpain Swatch, I get it.
Omega Swatch,
I get it.
Right.
They, it's in-house.
Right.
This is like an independent horology company. How was
Yes.
that? Is that all right?
Beautiful pronunciation,
I'm working
Robert.
on it.
Nailed it.
Like, why did they come together? I didn't understand that, and I did a little bit more reading and research myself.
Wow.
And
wow.
I actually,
really? Interesting.
I read a really interesting perspective thinking about the CEO of AP and how she came from a completely different world.
Yep.
Fragrances and Procter & Gamble,
Yep.
right? Where she did a fantastic job of like marketing to demographics that were unmarketed to and like boosting them up. And so a lot of people have said, this is about AP branching out and being a stronger presence in the ladies market.
Interesting.
Which I actually was like,
That makes sense.
it makes a lot of sense,
Well, especially,
right?
so if you guys, I don't know if you're living under a rock and you haven't seen, but Swatch by AP Royal Pop, they're calling it. And, obviously there were all these, like in the week leading up, 2 weeks, there were all these rumors and, there were all these like AI created things that were showing what looked to be plastic Royal Oaks, just like on a bracelet, everything. Right. And people were losing their minds. And it turns out, apparently GQ broke embargo and actually they jumped the gun.
Because it was only supposed to be Saturday.
Correct. But anyway, but it turns out that the actual piece that they're creating is essentially a pocket watch, or it's a watch on a pendant. There's no bracelet.
Which is what the Pop watch is.
Correct.
It was like a pendant watch, pocket watch, whatever you want to call it, that would go inside that housing on a lanyard,
Right.
or you could pop it out.
Right. And use it as a desk clock or whatever. So that's what this is. It's the same bioceramic plastic, that was used in the Moon Swatch and the Scuba, the Blancpain Scuba. There are a bunch of different configurations. The two main differences that you'll see, you have the Lapine version, which is, has the crown up at 12 o'clock. There's 6 different versions of that. And then you have the Savonnette, which has the crown at 3, and then you get the running seconds at 6 o'clock on the dial. So they're all powered, by the System 51.
But manually wound
System 51,
which I thought was like really kind of interesting.
I like it.
We're gonna tear the rotor off and make it a manually wound watch, which is kind of cool.
I mean,
for
they're
a
not.
pocket watch.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's cool. Like,
no, I think it's cool.
I know. I agree. Like, there's been so much chatter and noise online about how AP is ruining their brand cred and they're hurting their image and all this crap and like.
And you know what? The funny thing, like with the article that I read, was like, this is clearly not a money play.
No.
Right? There's no value here. And so AP, actually, you have to respect the fact that they are taking a massive risk here, because the upside for them is only to do with brand recognition and marketing and things like that. And the downside is pretty huge in terms of like, if you tarnish your reputation. That's a big blow.
So agreed. I think if the Moon Swatch didn't exist, if the Blancpain Scuba didn't exist, and AP made this partnership with Swatch and released this, I think that would be a much different situation than the fact that those two watches already exist.
Right.
They've already proven to be incredibly successful. They've already, like, it's a known fact that after the Moon Swatch came out, Speedmaster sales, like regular Speedmaster sales, also increased dramatically.
But you're also talking about a company that makes more limited editions in a year.
Agreed.
No, not even the price
Omega.
point.
Gotcha.
The fact that you have a company that makes more limited editions in a year than AP makes in total watches.
Right.
And you have another watch, Blancpain, which granted the production numbers aren't that big, but it is still a production company.
Yes.
AP is much smaller than both of them.
I know.
And independent, and does things like the concepts and tourbillons and sonneries and all of this stuff that's like really high level. And I feel like they have more to lose than Blancpain, because Blancpain also is not in like the cultural conversation.
No shots at Blancpain, but I agree. They have much less to lose than AP does.
It's a really different branding scenario, whereas an AP now, everybody knows what an AP is.
I agree.
Like my mom probably knows what an AP is.
I totally agree with you.
Like celebrities.
But nobody is going to say, nobody who wasn't a Royal Oak fan or is a Royal Oak fan is shopping for a Royal Oak, a real Royal Oak, and is willing to spend, $50,000, $60,000 is going to say, I'm not going to buy it. It's just, that's ruined because there are all these Swatch ones out there. I kind of take the flip side of it. I think it is a very, very smart play, especially because since the pandemic and, from 2020 on, obviously there was that moment in time where the Daytona, the Royal Oak, and the Nautilus went to unobtainable levels for almost anybody. It's all come back down now, but AP's MSRPs have still gone up. Their production has not been able to. They've not been able to ramp it up effectively to meet demand, and they never will. They never want to. They never want to. No. But I think this is a very smart way to expand access to the brand to people who might love the Royal Oak, love the design language, but not be able to ever participate in the brand. This is allowing people to participate in the AP lifestyle, whatever, without having to shell out $40,000. They can shell out $400. You know what I mean? I don't think it cheapens anything, to be honest.
I don't know. I think if it is targeted at branching out to the ladies market, especially when you think about the market for the high-end fobs on your bag, whether it's
a Labubu
or whatever it is. Yeah, I think this is very cool in that respect. Yeah. I think the real danger comes in all of the companies that are now racing to make
straps. I was going to say
adapters.
Deluxe actually already came out today and was like, "Hey guys, we're working on a strap for this. It's coming.
I saw another company too say the same thing. We're working on it. Yeah. And I think it is going to exist. It's going to happen without a doubt. But will that change the conversation? Because I think AP had this idea of this is such a different product because it is this charm or a lanyard watch or a pocket watch, and so it doesn't compete with our other stuff. But then when it becomes a wearable watch, does that change?
So what's interesting is I agree. I think that AP purposefully, obviously, created this as a pendant, as a charm, because they didn't want to. They wanted to have that separation.
Right.
I actually think if I was AP, I think I'd be happy that I would never say it, I would never publicly admit it, but the fact that people are so excited about it that they want to customize it, they want to figure out a way to get one, put it on a strap, do different things with it, interact with it in different ways. It only creates buzz, it only creates more interest, it only creates more attention. Yeah. And not that AP needs attention, but again, I just think it's interesting that they're doing something that is so out of left field and it's so unusual. I don't think this is going to have any negative effect. And if it has any negative effect on, in your mind, no offense, but you're not a Royal Oak fan, you're not an AP fan, you're just kind of being cranky and crotchety for no reason.
Here's my final thought.
Okay.
If I compare the strategy of Patek Philippe right now and the strategy of AP, I feel like both brands are looking to reach new audiences and to introduce themselves to the next generation. And I think AP is going about it in a smarter way.
I can't believe we're agreeing so much on this. I love that you made that exact comparison because I wanted to say the same thing. If you laid out both paths, where it was one that is going to be fun, cheap, it's going to appeal to more people, expand access, or you're going to take something, you're going to get rid of all the things that the true collectors and brand aficionados love.
You're going to say, okay, we're not making grandpa watches anymore. Here's your Celestial on a rubber strap that kind of pretends to be a Grubel, but it's not, and you can't see the movement. Have fun.
Give me the plastic Royal Oak pendant any day.
I think it's smarter, right? Because how many guys are sitting out there drooling over that rubber banded Celestial versus how many guys and girls are going to go buy themselves an AP Pop and be like, man, one day I'm going to have the real thing.
Dude, kids, adults, I love it.
My daughter would be over the moon if she got one of these.
Totally.
She'd think it's the coolest thing. And then maybe she would become that person who's like, one day I'm going to work hard, get myself the real thing.
Maybe.
And that, to me, that's the way to do it.
The only other thing, my last thought now.
Yes. So closing argument.
What I find interesting, like we talked about already, AP not being a part of Swatch Group, obviously. So does this open the door to more non-Swatch Group collaborations? Like, are we gonna have an FP Swatch?
Oh my goodness.
Are we gonna have a
Actually, he already made it. Like those aluminum things
no.
are pretty darn close.
Are we gonna have a Richard Swatch? Which wouldn't be much different. Come on now.
Never,
No, I'm kidding.
He would never do that. But
anyways.
But that aluminum FP Journe is not that different from the first Swatch that I ever owned, which was an aluminum chronograph that fell apart because
but it's
aluminum is a terrible
$500,000 cheaper, buddy.
Well,
right.
and good thing too because it fell apart.
I think we'll have much more to say about these. I'm sure. Like honestly, if I find myself near a Swatch boutique after the insanity dies down and they happen to have
You're
them,
not camping?
No. I actually thought about calling in a sub to sit in for me, Rob, so that I could go camp out at the
What a
nearest
trust fund
boutique.
move. Yo, I'm gonna pay you $50 and a sandwich to go sit in line. Buy me this watch.
Screw you. But I probably, if I do see one, I will buy one because they are
This is
cool.
my first opportunity for a trust fund
We're
joke
46 minutes in, buddy. All right. Now.
Speaking of trust funds.
Asshole. All right. Our final. I hesitate to call it a segment. This is purely a bit. One of our good friends here and one of our coworkers suggested this idea where we each pick for the other the worst watch that we can think of made by the other's favorite brand, and then I picked a Panerai, Robert picked a Cartier. We don't know which watches we picked for each other, and we're going to reveal them, and we're going to have to talk it through. We're going to have to try and justify.
Put your lawyer hat
I'm
on.
actually really scared because
get ready, counselor.
I'm concerned right now because Cartier has made some hot garbage.
I have honorable mentions.
I also have honorable mentions. Kevin, who's going first here? You're in charge over there.
Cartier.
Oh,
all right.
no.
Cartier.
I'm scared.
Is the worst.
No, they're not. They have made, I will say, Cartier is either incredible or garbage. There's like no middle ground, so I'm scared.
It's funny. So I searched because I was curious as to what Perplexity AI had to say about this, and I said, what is the worst Cartier? And the crash comes up a lot. And in Google, the crash comes up a lot.
As what?
I didn't realize as the worst Cartier, as
What?
the ugliest Cartier. And I think there's a bunch of haters out there who will never have one, and so they've decided to say that it's super ugly and it's bad. The other one is the Shake came up, which I think is absolute hogwash because that is such a cool watch.
It sucks that it's quartz, but that is still one of the coolest things about the
But
story
then
alone.
you got the Tank Divan.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I quote, strange sofa-like proportions and awkward wrist presence. Feels unbalanced. You get the Roadster, which I found interesting.
I agree.
Overstyled,
Roadster's
trying
terrible.
too hard sports look.
Roadster's terrible.
And then you had the Diablo, which I didn't know about. It basically looks like
We've sold it before.
Peter Speak Marin watch.
It's bad.
It's not that great. And then one of my colleagues reminded me today of the Cartier Chronoflex, which looks fine on the outside, looks like a Tank American, but the horrors lie beneath the dial in a movement that is impossible to set and adjust.
It was a crazy quartz chrono calendar situation that anytime we got one, we would literally take to the Cartier boutique a couple blocks down, and they would say, cool, we'll send it to our factory, and we'll get it back to you whenever
But we are leaving the sofas behind.
Oh, boy.
And we are revealing that the worst Cartier is the Pasha Grill.
Wrong. This watch is amazing. I love this watch. I am so glad you picked this. You could have picked so many watches, Rob, and you picked a good watch.
Really?
Oh my God, you idiot.
Hold on, wait.
You're such an idiot.
Then it's even worse in steel. And it's even worse on the bracelet. But then the next one here, they make one now where you can take it off and change the angle so you can make it even more legible.
I'll agree.
And then it's like, do diamonds make it better? No, they do not. It still looks like your watch is Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
And you had to put the mask on it because it kept biting the ear off of your
Who is
friends or whatever.
defending this? You or me? Shut up for a second. This watch, the Pasha, is actually incredibly cool, and I have had this conversation recently with other members of the team about how if we get a good all gold on a bracelet with a grill,
oh my God, you're not.
want it.
There's no way,
I
dude.
want
There's
it.
no way. That bracelet is so ugly.
This is so dumb. It's so dumb. But it has a cool story. Again, like every Cartier, like every interesting good Cartier, it has a very cool backstory where this was, the origins of what we now know as the Pasha was it was a model that was created for basically the ruler of Morocco, I can't remember if it was specifically Marrakesh or of Morocco. He was the Pasha, I think it was the Pasha of Marrakesh. But anyways, back in the 20s, he wanted a piece that he could go swimming with in his pool, in his riad, in Marrakesh or whatever. And Cartier designed this piece. I don't remember the specifics of why the grill was a part of it, but there was an actual reason why it had the grill over the top. It's I
think like
love
the
it.
only
I
reason you
love
put the
it.
grill on there is to say like I don't want to break the glass when I play polo
That may
or something.
have been it.
But then the Reverso does that so much better. And Cartier has a watch like that. It's called the Basculant. Like there was no reason to make this look like your watch plays football. And American football at that, the worst football. So like this is just, it's the dumbest watch. It has the tiniest crown that anybody has ever put on a watch.
It does.
But it fools you. It fools you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
it's
Robert.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Oh, look,
Rob.
here's this giant crown, and then you open it up, and it's like, nope.
I'm sorry, Rob.
Tiniest...
Are you not? You're just not educated enough to know that you actually wind it using the outer piece.
Oh,
buddy.
good. I was
Come
looking
on.
for an extra step.
Exactly.
Thank you. I was looking to make it even more cumbersome. Not to mention that stupid internal Cyclops, which then when you have the cage on it, what a miserable watch.
What did the Pasha? Show me
can't put a regular
Show me on
strap
the
on
doll
that.
where the Pasha touched you, Rob. Like Jesus, dude, this is not bad.
Trash.
Hey, I love the Pasha for real. I will be a Pasha stan. I'm all about it. Rob, I'm sorry, pal. You had so much time to come up with a legitimately bad Cartier.
So that is
you
the
could have
worst
picked,
Cartier.
You could have picked so many terrible modern Cartier, and you picked a cool one with a great backstory.
No. Trash. What am I going to pick? Like, I mean, the Ballon Blues are pretty bad. Sure.
That's pretty good. Vimal Nair said, the grill is so it's not damaged during an uprising when your subjects are throwing stones at you.
No.
I love it. That's, Rob, terrible pick, buddy.
Okay.
It's now your turn.
I
Similar to Cartier, but more one note, Panerai has made some absolute garbage over the years. Garbage, Robert. I would like to, first of all, almost any collaboration they've ever done, I would like to call your attention to any of the Ferrari chronos or any of the Ferrari collaborations they did, that yellow dial monstrosity.
Yep.
Buddy, they do a collaboration with Brabus.
They do.
The Mercedes-Benz.
We sold one.
We did sell one.
We sold one, yeah.
Like, hey, props to whoever bought it. I'm so glad you bought it so that we didn't have to have it anymore. That watch sucks. Any of the whole Navy SEAL line, it's all so performative. They're all like, oh my God.
You mean Navy SEALs aren't wearing Panerais when they're doing their spec ops?
Rob, the PAM 1800, a $100,000 plus Elux lab, like it's got like lume that glows on the moon or something.
I know
like
the one.
dumb.
You got like 75 years of warranty with that though, right?
You do,
so
yeah. Right. So
your
when you're
grandchildren aren't even going to have to service that watch.
There were two that came out recently, the 1238 and the 1239, the Forza Speciale edition. Go look those up. They're ugly as sin. They're so dumb. But
this is where it's like unfair because like Panerai looks like Panerai. They all look like a Panerai.
Yeah, they all look
so
like
for you
garbage.
to be like, oh, it's dumb. It's like, oh, they made a Panerai and you just don't like it because you're prejudiced against the enther brand.
I'm prejudiced, you say.
Apparently.
Well,
if you're going to say they all
Kevin,
look dumb.
roll the clip.
All right.
The PAM 76, buddy.
This actually is.
This is not even the worst
This is
Panerai.
so
This is
good.
one of the dumbest watches I've ever seen in my life. So this
I gotta give it to you.
This is a Luminor Black Seal that has a solid cover that clips over. It's on a hinge and it clamshells like claps shut. And you have to open it to see the time. Like, okay, it's kind of whatever, I guess. It's weird. What actually offends me is that they did this so they could put this engraving on the flap. The engraving looks like my 2-year-old daughter did it, dude. It's so bad. It looks like somebody took like a crayon and drew, like naval frogmen riding what is supposed to be a torpedo. Like, can we please talk about how bad that engraving is? Like we just talked about the Patek Rare Handcrafts department. This is from the Patek Rare Handcrafts department, and it is very different. It's very Italian, buddy. They said we're gonna have an espresso and smoke 4 cigs, and we'll be back and finish this engraving later. It is so dumb. There is nothing more performative than a watch that if you wear this watch, I don't care how big of a Panerai fan you are. If you wear this watch, you are just asking somebody to ask you what time it is, so you can pull it out from underneath your cuff. You can flip up the little case, and you can say, "Oh, well." Let me consult my Panerai Luminar Black Seal PAM 0000076. This is the dumbest thing of all time. Sorry, you can now respond.
You should take a breath before you start turning blue. So I have to admit, I thought you were going to give me one of the Luminors, one of the gem set Luminors. Obviously, the ones like there's the ones where they just have it's the standard Panerai dial, but it's all little diamonds.
That's dumb.
And it's so
I'll
cool.
give you.
I want one so bad. And then they have ones where there's more gems on the case too.
Yeah.
But I have to give it to you.
Did I win?
This watch is terrible.
Thank you.
It's
Do you have no rebuttal?
Because I mean, if they didn't have this terrible like pencil sketch of like 2 guys riding a torpedo,
What is
which,
supposed to be
I
a
just want to feel
torpedo.
the power between my legs.
Correct.
I guess,
Yeah.
but,
Yeehaw, baby.
What's that movie where he's got the cowboy hat and he's like,
Yeah.
going down, Doctor Strange.
How I learned to love the bomb or whatever. Yeah.
Oh man. I got nothing, dude.
Oh
that
my
watch
God.
is terrible.
This is incredible.
That watch, I have to give it to you. And you know what I think is actually quite amazing?
What?
We both picked watches where there's stuff over the dial.
I know. I actually thought that when
And there are good examples of this. The Patek Cabriolet
Yeah.
is
a
dream watch for me. I would love to buy that watch.
I have one coming soon, buddy.
I
It's got
know,
your name
but
all over it, pal.
I'm tapped out.
Come on.
That watch in 2-tone gold with a lid like that is so cool.
It's so cool.
I actually really like a watch with a lid. I think it's dumb, and because of that, I really like it. This though, like they could have put anything on there, and they have the ones with the Zodiac. So like they have those Zodiac ones.
So the PAM 859 is like the year of the pig. They have the year of the horse. They have all, and those are the engravings are beautiful.
They're
on
way
those.
better. They're way better.
They're
But
spectacular.
You found this one. That's like, I mean,
like why?
I can't think of anything redeeming.
I don't understand why they didn't try even like a tiny bit harder on that engraving. It's so bad.
It feels
They
bad.
only made 300 of them. It's not like they made, that wasn't a regular production piece that they, Giovanni had to engrave, 12,000 of them for that series. Like, no, he just had to do 300 of them.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Nothing?
I don't know how to defend it. I really don't,
my
because
God.
the engraving is bad. The dial's not great.
All right, the quote, I gotta look, because I'm a man of the people, I need to check the comments here. Panerai by Brokeback Mountain collab.
Oh.
Excellent. You know what? Somebody is saying the PAM 76 is a killer watch. Hand engraved lid is incredible. Can you say more, please? Jeremy Pinsley.
Have you seen it in real life?
Yeah.
Maybe we're missing something from the photos.Maybe it's better in real life.
Dude, those are our photos. We sold that watch.
We had that one.
Yes. We had those
When did we
photos
have that
taken
one?
a couple years ago.
Really?
You don't remember? I think we've had it a few times, actually.
No. No way.
Rob, I'm gonna use my non-existent trust fund to buy you a PAM 76. I'm gonna right alongside
You know
your
what?
pink Swatch. You're gonna have a PAM 76.
I'll double wrist it. I'll wear one on each wrist. I'll wear one on each wrist from now till I finish my career in EWC.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna start a GoFundMe, you guys. I'll put the link in the comments that you can help me buy Rob the worst Panerai of all time and force him to wear it all the time.
Fast forward to like 30 years from now when that watch is like uber collectible because you find out that like Vincent van Gogh himself did the engraving or something like that.
Okay,
and
pal.
then,
Yeah. Yeah. Vincenzo Van Gogh. Okay. All right. Well,
his Italian cousin.
All right. Well, that was fun. We're gonna have to do that again because there are other members of our team who are big fans of specific brands, and we will definitely have to force them to justify the worst watch. I still can't believe you picked a Pasha, dude. That was such.
Dude, that Pasha Grill's terrible.
Such a miss.
It is terrible.
Such a miss on your part.
I told you I disagreed with a lot of those things that came up when I was looking, like to call the Sheikh the ugliest Cartier.
Did
to
you
me
just
is
like
wild?
Did you literally just like ask AI what the worst Cartier was? Because
I had my ideas as well, but I was curious as to what else would come up, and that was quite bad. I mean, there are
like, do I even like the Philippe de Cartier is garbage?
I actually was thinking about that because
Like,
that Philippe is
I don't know what I would have even said to that.
That Philippe is to Cartier what this is to Rolex.
You are.
And on that bombshell, I think it's time to go.
We're gone.
I'm serious though. Think about it. It's right.
Thank you guys for joining us. This has been a blast. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll have a bunch more new arrivals. We'll have a bunch more dumb stuff to talk about and argue about. Please go ahead, give us a subscribe, like the video, drop a comment.
Yeah.
We actually do read all the comments, good, bad, otherwise. I have fun replying to a lot of you. Some of the replies get a little spicy. But thank you for joining us. This is always fun. We'll see you guys real soon.
Goodbye, everybody.